Wave, your official station for the Kentucky Derby.
It's very tragic. It's a very sad case. It's not the type of case that anybody wants to work on.
And it's a case that's left to everyone with still more questions than answers. This morning, we now know more about a death investigation out of southern Indiana. The disturbing update here this morning.
Plus, it's been more than 2 months since a 19-year-old was killed in East Louisville, but LMPD has now made an arrest in that case that hopefully will provide some closure for the victim's family.
This is Wave News Sunrise.
And good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunrise here at 5 a.m. on a Wednesday. Connie Leonard along with Brian Shlonsky. And you said you're getting along pretty well on this Wednesday.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm here. I got my tie on, you know, I sort of comb my hair.
There you go.
You
sort of combed it.
That's what I got for you. So
he sort of combed
if that's
it.
getting along, if that's the bar we're setting, then yes, I am indeed.
He's doing well.
Well, I mean, no matter how low you want to set the bar,
we're setting it low, okay?
You're here, you got
low.
here on time, and I think that's all that matters, right?
You got little victories here and there.
Listen, I had a cup of coffee this morning, so I think I'm on the same train as you, Brian. Don't worry. For those of you heading out this morning, keep an eye out for a couple of spotty showers here and there, seeing some of those showing up towards Eminence and towards Shelbyville as well. So we'll be watching those through the morning hours. Your temperature certainly not as cold as what we dealt with yesterday morning, mainly because of the fact that we have more of these clouds overhead right now. That helped to limit our cool down overnight, but still seeing a couple of upper 30s showing up. 39 degrees into Carrollton, 39 in Campbellsville, the rest of us sitting in the 40s at the moment. We are going to try to rebound into the upper 60s and for some the low 70s later on this afternoon, as we do see a decent stretch of drier weather for a good chunk of the day after we deal with, of course, those spotty showers for the early morning hours. And then the next round of rain shows up later on tonight, lasting at least through the first half of your Thursday. Tomorrow still staying on the warmer side, but we really start to warm up as we get towards the weekend. So the weekend looking pretty good. Brian, I found all of my summer clothing and I'm going to wear as much as I can as we head towards this weekend.
That's a good question. I don't even know where mine is. It's been a couple years, I think, since I've even had to use it. I've been in pajamas for 2 years, or a suit, but sometimes it's the same thing. But anyway, this morning, a little bit of moisture showing up here on 64 near Melwood Avenue. We had a little bit of light rain that passed right across downtown, and now it's in the east end of Jefferson County. But for the most part, Louisville is likely going to stay mainly dry here. Here's 71, just north of the Snyder Freeway. Right now, everything looks fine here. The morning drive, can't see the roads very well, of course, this far away, but I'm sure they are a bit damp because a shower did pass through there not long ago. It's even off the scope now, really on the radar itself. The main portion of the metro looking good. No accidents being reported and no major slowdowns. Of course, it's only 2 minutes after 5 in the morning. That always helps as well. The storm tracker, which I forgot to turn the switch on. Anyway, he's okay. He's out there on 65 close to the airport. We'll check in with the live view from the storm tracker coming up here in just a few more minutes.
It's a very disturbing part of the case, obviously. A tragic situation. The young man was located inside of a closed suitcase.
The details we weren't told at first, but now we are hearing as we've been following the story all week long. This morning, the very latest in the case of that missing boy who was found dead in Washington County over the weekend. Authorities now saying that they found his body in this distinctive suitcase. Police also got the autopsy results yesterday, but the boy's cause of death still hasn't been confirmed.
And now they're waiting on a toxicology report. As they wait, Indiana State Police are still asking for your help and trying to figure out who this 5-year-old boy was. Authorities also released the specific place where the boy was found. It is a quiet part of East Holder Road. It's a road that doesn't see much traffic at all, just a handful of cars on any given day. Now, Wave News was in that area yesterday and found one couple who wants to know what happened to the boy. They didn't want us to share their name or their faces, but they did want to share their message.
This newscast is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. There's only one. This is Wave News Sunrise.
Good morning, everyone. 12 minutes after 5 on this Wednesday, halfway through the work week. We're almost there, and obviously I need the break. The weekend still looks really good. Tawana's got details on that in just a second. We got a bit of light rain, more, I would say, a very fine drizzle. kind of like fine dining here. It's pretty much going to be very, very light, just enough to get the roads damp, and that's really about it. In fact, right now, when you overlay the radar and the traffic map, you don't really see much showing up on the actual scope itself. But again, it's because most of it is just very, very light indeed. But we are accident free, and that's always a plus.
This Wave News Update is sponsored by Oxmoor Auto Group.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. Meteorologist Tawana Andrew here with a check of your forecast. What we're going to be seeing for this morning, yes, a few more of these spotty showers around, but most of us on the dry side. We're going to keep a mix of sun and clouds across the region throughout the day today as temperatures warm into the upper 60s and the low 70s for your highs. Now, once we get into later on tonight, especially after 8, 9 o'clock, that's the current timing we have going on for those showers moving back into wave country. We could see a couple of thunderstorms mixing in with those showers. We aren't expecting anything severe with this. It's just going to be the rain moving through our region for tonight into early tomorrow morning. So keep that in mind as you're preparing for maybe tonight if you're going out a little bit later. Temperatures tonight only falling down into the 50s because of the rain and the clouds that are in the forecast. Once we get into tomorrow, we'll still be waking up to more of these showers and thunderstorms around the region, but it doesn't last all day. By the afternoon, it does look drier across the area, with even some of these clouds starting to thin out. If you get a little bit more of that sunshine, you can climb back into the low 70s for your highs. But if you stay stuck underneath the clouds, you are going to be stuck in the 60s for your highs tomorrow. So we'll be keeping an eye on all of that. As you continue into your Thursday night and Friday morning, a warm front looks to move through. This brings a few more of those spotty showers in our forecast, but the main thing we're going to be keeping an eye on, the milder night overall, and then that potential for some fog into early on your Friday morning. Friday overall looks pretty good with some sunshine and highs into the upper 70s and the low 80s. For the weekend, talking about more of that sunshine, more of those 80s in the forecast. And if you check your 10-day by Monday, here we go again. Another front bringing not just rain into the forecast, but also colder air our way for a good chunk of next week.
Now, you're watching Wave 3 News Listens Live
And it is a celebration.
with your host, John Ramsey.
And welcome into the Wednesday edition of Wave 3 Listens Live. And I've got to tell you, we are cooking today, and I mean that literally. The Dano's Derby Kitchen is open once again. Chef Anoush Chariot is here. Chef Louie is here. And I'm telling you what, it smells good in the studio. But first, let's head over and get the headlines from Wave 3 News anchor Brian Shlonsky. Good afternoon to you, Brian.
Hey, good afternoon to you, John. So many questions are still looming regarding the JCPS school choice plan. And tonight, another forum will be held to help get you some answers. JCPS says the proposal was created to give every student, but particularly those in West Louisville, the option of where to attend school.
Building on our rich history in the community, celebrating the people and events that make this the great place we call home. Wave presents Wave Country with Dawne Gee.
A big hello to you, Wave Country. I was like, had to ask everybody, is this Wednesday? It's Wednesday, right? A big, huge thank you for joining me, Dawne Gee, on this Wednesday. We've got a lot here in Wave Country. We're going to tell you all about it. The Kentucky Derby is now a little over 2 weeks away. Are you ready? If you are, you're doing much better than me. Do you have your derby hat, your outfit? House of Color is here. They've got several ideas on how to put together that perfect outfit. I had a chance, or we'll have a chance to talk to some wonderful folks from New Orleans. That's like my second home. I love New Orleans. Actually, I was there on 9/11 trying to get home.
This is Wave News at 3.
Thunder over Louisville now just days away, and today the city talked about what to look out for on the road on the big day and also how to stay safe while you're having fun. Thanks so much for joining us for Wave News at 3. Hope you're having a terrific Wednesday today. I'm Shannon Cogan. So it's been since 2019. Thunder over Louisville has really packed the waterfront, lit up the sky in front of a huge crowd. If you're planning on driving to the event, you're asked to park away from the waterfront and then walk. You can also ride your bike or your scooter to the event. In fact, it's encouraged, but you cannot bring it inside the perimeter, so plan on locking it up someplace.
This newscast is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. There's only one. This is Wave News at 3.
Police in Louisiana have arrested a man for allegedly killing a woman and then streaming the murder online. Police in Baton Rouge say Earl Johnson beat and stabbed 34-year-old Janice David to death.
This is Wave News at 4.
This little boy needs his name returned to him, and somebody out there has that answer.
We continue to follow the heartbreaking story of a boy found dead in Washington County, Indiana over the weekend. Authorities say they found his body in a very distinctive suitcase. Thank you for joining me at 4. I'm Dawne Gee. The boy's body was found Saturday night around 7:30 by a mushroom hunter in a wooded area in Washington County off East Holder Road. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is helping Indiana State Police try to figure out who this young boy is. Wave News reporter Myra Ansari joins us now. Myra, you spoke to a forensic expert with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children and brought that interview live on Wave Now today because police really need our help.
Yeah, they do, Dawn. And the big piece of information that we want everyone to pay attention to is this suitcase. This is not your typical suitcase. Take a look. This is the suitcase the young boy's body was found in.
This newscast is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. There's only one. This is Wave News at 4.
Monday, a federal judge struck down a government requirement to mask on public transportation, but those new mask freedoms might not last too long. The Justice Department says it's deferring to the CDC about a possible appeal. The CDC wanted a couple more weeks of data before making the decision to end the mandate. The mandate was expected to expire on May 3rd. It has some worry that the decision to call and end to the pandemic could be decided by a judge instead of a scientist.
This is Wave News at 4:30.
A reminder for parents in Jefferson County, JCPS will host another public forum tonight to discuss their school choice plan. The district says that the proposal was created to give every student, but particularly those in West Louisville, the option of where to attend school. At the forum, you will be able to hear details of the school choice proposal and ask questions.
This newscast is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. There's only one. This is Wave News at 4:30.
If you're driving through Clarksville, you may notice some brand new foliage. Thanks to a grant from Duke Energy, the town was able to buy 40 new trees to be planted at 5 different locations across the community. They got to work today to make sure the new trees were in place before Earth Day. That was April 2nd. The last tree was put in the ground today behind Town Hall and the Veterans Place Memorial.
This is Wave News at 5.
We're taking a look at new body camera video tonight showing the moments a Bullitt County deputy shoots a man to death as he tried to drive away from them. This is Wave News at 5. I'm John Boel.
I'm Shannon Cogan. The shooting happened January 31st, 2021, right near the Jefferson-Bullitt County line. Once KSP is finished investigating, a grand jury will decide if the deputy should be charged.
Big question, did the officer have to open fire on the man? Wave News reporter Tori Gessner explains why the man's family is suing for wrongful death.
This newscast is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. There's only one. This is Wave News at 5.
Breaking right now, police in Hardin County have made an arrest in the murder of a Radcliffe woman we've been telling you about. And listen to this. The sheriff says a 16-year-old boy is charged with complicity to commit murder. That carries the same penalty as murder. 62-year-old Lana Jantz was found dead inside her shed last week after neighbors called to perform a wellness check. She died of blunt force trauma. Sheriff says the teen lived close to Jantz and described him as being an acquaintance of the victim. Police are still investigating. They have not provided a motive yet.
This is Wave News at 5:30.
As thunder over Louisville is expected to bring in record numbers of people this Saturday, restaurants on both sides of the river are looking to cash in.
Wave News reporter Kennedy Hayes spoke to some businesses about their plans ahead of Saturday's big event.
Festival organizers say this year they expect Thunder to bring in $56 million to the area's economy. Businesses on both sides of the river say after a 2-year COVID hiatus, that money will mean more than ever.
This newscast is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. There's only one. This is Wave News at 5:30.
For a second day, dramatic testimony from Hollywood star Johnny Depp during his $50 million defamation case against his ex-wife Amber Heard.
Depp told jurors she emotionally and physically abused him during their 2-year marriage. This lawsuit's in response to Heard's 2018 op-ed in the Washington Post.
NBC's Jay Gray has the latest on this high-profile legal battle.
This is Wave News at 6.
It happened way back on January 31st of 2021, but we're finally getting a look at what really happened when a Bullitt County Sheriff's deputy opened fire on a man, killing him as he was trying to get away. We have the body camera video as authorities tackle the question, did that deputy have to shoot him? 20-year-old Eric Kessler died after being shot in the back of the head. This is Wave News at 6. I'm John Boel.
And I'm Shannon Cogan. Now, Bullitt County judge ruled the deputy could not claim qualified immunity because he did not act in good faith. As Wave News reporter Tori Gessner explains, the grand jury will decide if the deputy will face charges.
Eric Kessler's family attorney says the Bullitt County deputy used excessive force when he shot Kessler in the back of the head as he was driving away.
This newscast is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. There's only one. This is Wave News at 6.
Tonight, Indiana State Police are still trying to figure out who is the child found dead inside of a suitcase in Washington County late Saturday evening. The boy is described as being black, slender, short hair, believed to be around 5 years old. The child was found in the woods about 80 feet off of East Holder Road in that suitcase right there that says Las Vegas on it. The autopsy was finished Tuesday afternoon. Authorities say the body did not show any obvious cause of death. Investigators are now waiting on toxicology reports to see if the child had any drugs in his system when he died.
This is Wave News at 7.
It happened back on January 31st of 2021, but we're finally getting a look at what really happened when a Bullitt County Sheriff's deputy opened fire on a man, killing him as he was trying to get away. We have the body camera video as authorities tackle the question, did the officer have to shoot him? Good evening, and thank you for joining us here for Wave News at 7. I'm Dawne Gee. 20-year-old Eric Kessler died after being shot in the back of the head. A Bullitt County judge ruled the deputy could not claim qualified immunity because he didn't act in good faith. As Wave News reporter Tori Gessner explains, a grand jury will decide if the deputy will face charges.
This newscast is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. There's only one. This is Wave News at 7.
A horse that looked like a top contender going into last year's Derby has died. Midnight Bourbon, a 4-year-old colt trained by Hall of Famer Steve Asmussen, died Sunday morning at Churchill Downs about 3 hours after a 5-furlong workout. Beautiful horse. Asmussen said the horse suffered from acute gastrointestinal distress. The University of Kentucky Veterinary Diagnostic Laboratory will try to determine an exact cause of death.
This is Wave News at 7:30.
Thunder rolling into Louisville right now. Crews are gearing up for the first normal thunder in 3 years. Kentucky Derby Festival officials said today they're on track with setup. They're preparing and they're asking visitors to get ready too. Olivia Russell was there to track the progress.
This newscast is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. There's only one. This is Wave News at 7:30.
The Russian siege on Ukraine is intensifying, and world leaders are strapped trying to think of how they can help without direct involvement. Susan McGinnis has the latest as millions continue the exodus from Ukraine.
Parents arrested for neglect after a 2-year-old was found in southern Indiana walking down a highway in a diaper and socks.
It's not over yet. The appeal seeking to overturn the order that voided the federal mask mandate at 11.
This is Wave News at 11.
Hardin County authorities have a suspect in custody tonight in connection to a Radcliffe woman's murder. He is a 16-year-old who the sheriff says knew the victim, Lana Jans. Thanks for joining us for Wave News at 11. I'm Shannon Cogan.
I'm John Boel. Not only did he know her, police also say he lived near Jans.
Wave News reporter Josh Ninke went out to the community to see how they're taking this new development.
This is the first murder of the year in Hardin County, and the people I spoke to were surprised by this arrest and hope authorities have the right person in custody.
This newscast is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan. There's only one. This is Wave News at 11.
It's been a week since a tornado ripped through the Glen Mary neighborhood. The initial shock is worn off, but the recovery is just beginning. Wave News reporter David Ochoa went to Glen Mary to see how the residents are faring now.
No one was killed when the tornado touched down in the middle of the neighborhood, but many homes were damaged. And although the threat is over, some people are still trying just to calm down.
We have breaking news right now at 5. We're learning more about the young boy who was found dead in southern Indiana. I'm Shannon Cogan.
I'm John Boel. Let's get straight to Nick Pick with the breaking details we just learned minutes ago.
Yeah, John, I just got off the phone with ISP just in the last 5 minutes. They say the boy's body was found inside a suitcase. Just released a picture of the suitcase, hoping to get tips in about where. Taking a look at it now in the full screen.